This is Bill Keegan with Durham Geoslope Indicator, and this is segment 4 of the S500 permeability panel setup. What I'm going to explain now is your basic setup and what each device does, and basically what this mess is for. First, I'm going to show you the regulators. This is a differential regulator, an E656. These are E651s, which are the 2 and 3 regulator. This is your transducer. This is what measures the pressure, and it is attached to your readout. If you have to have this calibrated, this is where your calibration service will go to, or you can take this out and take this out and send it to Durham Geo, and we'll calibrate it for you at a price. This is your master regulator. If you'll notice here, this is a very small regulator on the inlet side of the regulator. This is what controls your de-airing pressure. If you have no de-airing pressure to push the water in, this is the issue. This is a 215-2020. Okay. The way the panel is set up, you have fill, this is tap water. You have drain, which goes into a bucket, which is what we use, or you can run it into a sink. Just remember, if you run it into a bucket, it needs to be secured to the bucket, because if you force the water out of your head at 100 psi, that tube's going to get something wet. Vacuum comes straight from your vacuum pump. It is highly recommended that you use a water trap, because if any water gets into your vacuum pump, you're going to be changing the oil often. Pressure. It's very important to understand that your pressure needs to be dry. Your air needs to be dry and clean. No oil, no contaminants. That's difficult, especially in a hot, humid situation. If you don't have this clean, the water will eventually kind of condense into the regulators, and after it sits for a while, the calcium buildup will cause your regulators to fail. And also, if you back up burette into this regulator, you're going to cause some issues. Now, the way to fix that is to attach a tube. If you get water in your regulator, attach a tube here with a blank end on it. Basically, you just want to connect here with a blank end. You pressurize it. You drain this out first. You blow air through here constantly to get airflow through your regulator. Just get the air through it, and that'll remove most of the water. That does alleviate some issues down the road. You won't see it initially, but you will see it in the future, I guarantee you. Okay, you've got pressure, vacuum, drain, and fill. Here comes the tricky part. In order to utilize your de-airing tank, you have 2 connections here. Right here. If you want to look at the front, look at the de-airing controls, you will see fill drain is on the bottom. That's water. And the vacuum and pressure is on the top. The way to tell is it's got a little vent valve, a little vent hole on the top of this fitting. Now what you do is you remove this nut, this is a cap, and you attach your de-airing tank straight to here. This is the air and vacuum. On your de-airing tank, you have 2 fittings. The Knoll de-aerator is different, so you need to take into account that. Read the instructions. The air is offset. This fitting right here is up top. It does not continue on down. This is your water and the fill and drain tube. It goes down to the bottom. This is connected to your water right here. The air is connected to your air valve. The way to tell is to look at the front. Hold on to here, look at the front, say, okay, this is my water, this is fill and drain. So this is fill and drain, this is air. And that's basically all there is to it. That way your de-airing tank will work. You'll be able to fill it, drain it, pressurize it, and apply a vacuum to it. Next, I'm going to show you very quickly how to attach a auxiliary panel. This is the drain line. Basically what you'll be given on your auxiliary panel is what they call a port connector and a T. You take the nut off the T that you're going to put the port connector in, you knock out the top and bottom ferrule. Place your port connector in, screw it back on. You don't have to tighten it up real tight, just tighten it down. And then you take, this normally has a nut on it. And you tighten that down. You set the ferrule. Now what you'll have is you'll have drain coming in, with drain coming out to the tank, which will go here. And then you'll also have the drain going to your auxiliary panel. So the auxiliary panel will drain into here. If you have two auxiliary panels, just put another T on top. Same thing for the vacuum. The vacuum is done the same way. The fill valve is not. The fill valve is attached here with a T. Because you want de-aired water in your add-on panels. You do not need, if you want to fill your chambers, you do it from this panel on your chamber controls. All you need in your add-on panel is de-aired water, and that comes from right here. Now what I normally do is I'll put one here, run it to one add-on panel, and then put a T on the add-on panel on that side. On the fill, you attach it to the fill valve on your add-on panel from here to your fill valve on the add-on. Then you put a T on that one, run it back over here. That way you have de-aired water to all of your burettes. Okay. Now, what you will do next is you need to have the master regulator. You want it also controlling your pressures to your other panels. You take this off, put a tube onto your outlet of your master regulator. It says out right there. Take this plug off, put a 1/4-inch tube on here, and run it to your pressure on your add-on. So the pressure for the add-ons comes after this regulator on your master. It will go to the pressure on your add-on. The vacuum is teed off, goes to your other panel. The drain is teed off, goes to the panel. And the fill for your add-on panel comes from right here. You don't need pressure up here. All you need is the water flow. If you have any concerns or questions about the front of the panel, you can look in our catalog, or you can look on our website. We have part numbers and a description of every major component on the panel. This will make it easier for our inside sales department and also for you, because we need to get you up and running as quick as possible. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call us, 1-800-837-0864. My direct line is 678-736-2012. Thank you.